इलनेस जाती है या और भी कुछ बिलीफ्स बताए। तो ऐसे हमारे ही ऐसे फैमिली में ऐसे कुछ हुआ था, लाइक उनको ये सजेस्ट किया था कि गले में आप एक मोती पहन लो, सिंगल मोती की एक माला, और उसको शर्ट के अंदर हिडन रखो। द रीजन वाज, उनको बोला गया था कि ये ही इज वर्किंग वेरी हार्ड, कमाते भी बहुत हैं, बट इनका पैसा इनके पास नहीं रहता है, इट गेट्स यूज्ड अवे बाय अदर्स। तो उनको कहा गया था ये पर्ल एक आप पहन के गले में शर्ट के अंदर छुपा के रखो। सो वन काइंड ऑफ बिलीफ,
Yes, yes,
साइंटिफिकली आई डोंट नो, बट दैट वे।
yes,
Yes, yes.
yes,
So I knew, I shared with everyone.
yes. Thank you, madam. Thank you. चलिए आगे डॉक्टर कांचन मैडम.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please continue. Please start.
Ma'am, I'm audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Good morning, respected Dongarwar sir, Preeti ma'am, and good morning to all my colleagues. Myself, Kanchan Khapade from MB Patel College, Sakoli. Today, my seminar topic is ozone pollution. What is ozone layer? Everyone know about the ozone. Ozone is present in the stratosphere, in the ozone of atmosphere is the second layer in above the earth, 13 to 15 centimeter, and this ozone layer is a good ozone layer. And in the in present in troposphere, and I am concentrated on ozone in troposphere layer is the bad ozone layer. First of all, we are seeing about the importance of ozone layer. The scientist Swiss chemist Christian Konbin, when he studied the electrical discharge experiment in the spark plug, he find out the one specific smell of a gas, and then he again researched, and then he identified the ozone, and this gas is having the odor, specific smell, pungent smell, and then he discovered her name ozone. The composition of ozone in composition of ozone is natural occurring molecule. Ozone molecule having the three oxygen atom O3. This is called as the O3. It is a strong odor, pale blue in color, and oxygen and normal oxygen is a odorless and colorless gas. We are having the two types of ozone, is a good ozone and bad ozone. Good ozone is present in the stratosphere, and this ozone protect our from ultraviolet radiation coming from the sun. And in the troposphere, ground level ozone, this ozone is a very harmful to the human, plants, and other ecological factors. Good ozone is from we having the two steps process. The first, the oxygen molecule react with ultraviolet from sunlight, breakdown of the oxygen molecule, and the two separate molecule of oxygen. We can see this. And in the second step, this oxygen molecule again binding of collision and another oxygen molecule and from the ozone molecule. In bad ozone, ground level oxygen react with sunlight and some chemicals from other factors, just like vehicles, industries, and these nitrogen oxide and volatile component react with sunlight and form the O3, and this O3 is a bad ozone and harmful our human being. The sources of the many sources of the bad ozone, these are the refineries, factories, industrial boilers, chemical plants, evaporation of paints, सॉल्वेंट्स, मोटराइज लॉन इक्विपमेंट्स जो कि गार्डन में यूज होते हैं ग्रास कटिंग के लिए, वो फॉसिल फ्यूल कंबशन. These are the some example: industrial, motor car. They evolve fossil fuel and volatile organic compound and nitrogen oxide. They react with sunlight and form the ozone, and this ozone is very dangerous to the human beings. Good ozone is a naturally producing photochemical and react present in stratosphere, slightly far from the earth surface, protect living things from the ultraviolet radiation. And bad ozone, it is near to the earth surface layer called the troposphere, harmful to breathe, and this ozone we can breathe and cause the damages to trees, crop, and other vegetation also. This ozone is present in the urban smog, and it and they are the key, the component of the many respiratory diseases. Mm. Effect of the human body, on human body, some are the short term effects, and अगर अपन बहुत ज्यादा long term ओजोन के कांटेक्ट में आ रहे हैं तो long term effect भी हो सकता है. The short term effects are the chest pain, coughing, throat irritation and conjugation, and the long term effect means the chronic bronchitis and the lung tissue are damages, and sometimes the lung cancer, due to ozone, the lung cancer can person can having the lung cancer. And the ozone also damages the plants. Show this picture. This is the normal leaf, and due to the ozone effect, the normal leaf is converted into the yellow pigmented yellow leaf, and this affect the leaves chlorophyll, affect the chlorophyll, affecting the biodiversity, changes the timing of the flowering, means flower का जो टाइमिंग होता है ग्रो करने का, उसको भी ओजोन O3 डैमेज करता है, एंड अफेक्टिंग द पॉलिनेटिंग बाय द इंसेक्ट, जो पॉलिनेट करती पॉलिनेशन के लिए जो इंसेक्ट आते हैं फ्लावर्स में, उसको भी वो बहुत ज्यादा इफेक्ट करती है. एंड अदर इफेक्ट्स आर द जो रबर पेंट्स की, रबर है, टायर है, जो जिसकी जो स्ट्रेंथन होती है, उसको भी ओजोन लेयर या ओजोन में का जो O3 है, ग्राउंड लेवल का टोपोग्राफी, वो भी उसको बहुत ज्यादा इफेक्ट करता है, एंड द क्वालिटी ऑफ द मटेरियल ऑल्सो डैमेजेस. द कंक्लूजन ऑफ दैट, the high ozone pollution, not the negative impact of the human hand, but also the agriculture and the ecosystem, to controlling the volatile organic compounds, nitrogen oxide, nitrogen NO2 also control in the atmosphere. And due to this, many problems are occurring to control the fossil fuel combustion. All are controlling by human beings to control the ozone 3 or the O3 in topographic level. And unfortunately, today is the 16th September, the World Ozone Day, to celebrate and aware the ozone depletion due to the CFC or the chlorofluorocarbon, जो AC and AC and refrigerator में जो use होता है, and due to that the earth having the hole, and this is called as the ozone depletion. And the on 16 September or worldwide ozone day can celebrate to preserve it and aware about the ozone depletion. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kanchan, madam. Any question? चलिए नेक्स्ट.
Thank you, ma'am.
डॉक्टर वीरेंद्र सांगोड़े सर,
Yes, ma'am.
आप शेयर करेंगे?
No, ma'am. Kindly
Yeah.
share from yours.
ओके. आपने कब सबमिट किया था सर?
Ma'am, more than a week ago.
ओके. क्या टाइटल है आपका सेमिनार का?
Ma'am, WVC, that is road vehicle collision data.
जस्ट अ मिनट. गूगल फॉर्म में सबमिट किया था कि मेल पे भेजा था?
मैम फॉर्म में ही सबमिट किया था ऐड करके।
बट आई हैव नॉट रिसीव्ड। आप भी एक बार स्क्रीन देखिए, स्क्रीन दिख रही है आपको?
हाँ स्क्रीन विजिबल है मैम मुझे।
आपका नाम आई एम सर्चिंग। जितने भी आए हैं उतने मैंने डाउनलोड तो कर लिया। आपका नाम तो मुझे नहीं दिख रहा है सर, आई थिंक, बट स्टिल नो सर, नॉट येट रिसीव्ड।
मैम you can just
Kindly,
share screen.
yeah,
I will try to put it
yes,
from my
yes. Are you in the laptop?
No, ma'am, actually I'm using my cell phone.
Sir, don't worry. You just kindly share on my mail ID of HRDC.
Yes.
Till now, I'll proceed for the next presentation. You please
Okay.
note down the mail ID HRDC Nagpur 2020@gmail.com.
HRDC Nagpur 2020. Okay.
या ठीक है, आप सेंड करिए, होने के बाद मुझे बता दीजिए, तब
Fine,
तक हम
fine.
आगे का सेमिनार लेते हैं।
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
यस, डॉक्टर वसुधा मैडम, डॉक्टर
Yes, ma'am.
वसुधा, हाँ, तुम्ही शेअर करताय?
Yes, ma'am. Madam, kindly share yourself, ma'am.
या प्लीज. Yes, ma'am. This type PPT?
Yes, ma'am.
Please start.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Good afternoon, Dr. Nitin Dongarwar sir, and Dharmik madam and my colleagues. Myself, Dr. Vasudha Jagdish Mishram, Department of Zoology, Jagat Science College, Goregaon, District Gondia. My seminar topic is Rotifer Diversity in Railway Station Pond, Gondia, District Gondia. Madam, next. Introduction. These rotifers are nothing but the zooplanktons, which are very much important in freshwater ecosystem, and they are very much important food source of fishes, which are economically important. They are having short life period, small sized, found in great numbers, and their diversity is the most important ecological parameter to assess the water quality. They are represented as in 4 groups: Rotifera, Cladocera, Copepoda, and Ostracoda. Rotifera are also known as rotatoria or wheel animalcule because they are having a ring-like structure around the mouth, and when they moves or swims in the water, they moves like the wheel. So therefore, they are known as wheel animalcules. And these rotifers always prefers freshwater habitat, which shows their direct relationship with trophic status of water bodies. Next, ma'am. They are harmless microorganisms with transparent bodies, and they shows variety of forms with amazing movements and behavior with numerical abundance. The physicochemical characteristics of pond water have direct impact on these type of organisms and also on human beings. Fluctuations in these parameters directly shows impact on the rotifer diversity. Next, ma'am. Now we'll see the materials and methods. This railway station pond is a pond which is situated in the heart of the Gondia town, and nearest to it there is the railway station situated. So that's why this pond is known as railway station pond. It is also known as Sarkari Talao. Monthly, during the sample collection, monthly water samples were collected and brought to the laboratory. Physicochemical parameters were studied by using the AFA and other books. At the same time, I have collected the plankton samples, which are collected by using the nylon plankton net, which was made by the silk number 25 and preserved in 4% formalin, and identified with the help of the very renowned book, that is the Edmondson and other standard manuals. Next, ma'am. This is the map of Gondia, and this is the satellite view of railway station pond situated nearest to the railway station of Gondia. Next, ma'am. These are the observations. Here, I have related the rotifer diversity with the physicochemical parameters. So, I have done the analysis of these parameters. So, I have taken the temperature, transparency, pH, free CO2, dissolved oxygen, and all this, and studied seasonally, means the monsoon, winter, and summer season. Next, ma'am. This is the pie graph which is showing the rotifer diversity, and this density it is showing at the time of this summer. I have recorded 53%, that is the maximum number of rotifer population, while the moderate quantity or the population I have recorded during the winter season, but very least quantity or population of rotifers I have recorded, it is of about 17%. Next, ma'am. These are the photographs which I have taken from my thesis. So these are some species of the rotifers in the railway station pond which I have recorded, and these are the Brachyunus species, the lichen species, the Trichocerca species. Next, ma'am. So these are some of the photographs while I have taken at the time of sample collection. So the first photograph shows that when I was collecting the samples, some people were collecting the Eichhornia species, and this railway station pond is highly polluted, ma'am, because the railway station is there and the very densely populated area is in the nearby area. So when I asked to these people why you are collecting this Eichhornia species, so they told me that these leaves are extracted, and that extraction is given to the cattle for the medicine to give the or to yield the more quantity of the milk. Second photograph, it shows that during the summer season, when the dissolved oxygen gets depleted, the fish yields is more at the time of summer season. The third photograph is shows that this railway station pond is a densely populated area, surrounded by the densely populated area. So slaughterhouse waste along with the wastewater runoff is entering into the water body, so that this water body gets polluted. Even that the fourth photograph is showing that the solid waste disposals done by the nearby people, and along with the some most of the anthropogenic activities with the idle immersion and such type of washing and cloth washing and the cattle's washing, all these anthropogenic activities which make this railway station pond more polluted. Next, ma'am. So these are the results. So total 14 species of the Rotifera recorded belonging to the 6 genera. The most diversified genera was Brachyunus species, which is represented by 7 species. So during my study period, I have recorded that Rotifer population was 2,116 individual per liter. Its peak was recorded during the summer, that is of about 1126 individual per liter, while least was recorded during the monsoon. It was of about 357 individual per liter. So in the present investigation, high domestic sewage, alkalinity, the nutrients such as nitrates, phosphates, and other nutrients are also there, which are recorded higher during the summer season, and that may result into the increased population of the rotifers, while lower during the winter and followed by the monsoon season. Lower values of the rotifer density and the diversity were recorded during the monsoon. It might be due to more dilution of water, less nutrients, depletion of temperature, pH, and the dissolved oxygen. Even some chloride content is also, hardness gets increased at the time of the rainy season. Next, ma'am. So conclusion is there, having a glimpse of observations on physicochemical parameters such as temperature, transparency, pH, dissolved oxygen, and all those parameters, they have direct impact on the occurrence density, diversity of rotifers in railway station pond. So occurrence of this bioindicator species at a higher rate indicates the mesosaprobic nature, but in future it may be a eutrophic condition of this pond. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, my colleagues. Here my finished seminar topic.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vasudha madam. Nice work.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any
Okay,
question?
ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Okay, thank you. Just a minute, huh? Let me check sir's PPT. Virendra sir? Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes. Am I audible to all of one?
Yes, please start.
Yes.
Yes. Very good afternoon to respected director, sir, UG, HRDC. Followed by, I'm quite thankful to program coordinator, Dr. Nitin Dogarwar, sir, and respected Priti ma'am. Today, I'm presenting my topic WVC, that is Wildlife Vehicle Collision Data, a potential tool for road ecology research and biodiversity conservation. Basically, it cannot be considered as a topic of research, but it is an impractical approach, or you can say it is an in vivo approach that is to be done on voluntary basis. Next slide, please, ma'am. So when you think about roadkill, as we we think about kill word, it strikes us our mind that what is going on. So basically, the word seems quite not new in our dictionary. Practically, when we think about it, roadkill is the one scenario where we can think about the battered carcasses, bloodsheds, and loss of precious wildlife. Basically, I'm stick to the wildlife as if I do belong to zoology. So here, as a voluntary involvement, there is a requirement of reporting the occurrence of wildlife on roads, whether either it can be alive. Say, think about you are crossing a national highway, you can think a flock of deers, right? Or if you are visiting a say Tadoba Tiger Reserve, you are looking at the tiger. What you feel? You feel get enthralled, you get excited. So accordingly, when we think about the roadkill carcasses, it comes under the data of what? Wildlife vehicle collision. So now this WBC, it seems to be a quite new frame in road ecology research that is totally depends upon new type of volunteer involvement of peoples. Now, next, please, ma'am. During our study, basically we en route our National Highway 6 from Nagpur to Sadak Arjuni via Bhandara, Sakoli, Kohmara Highway. And this entire national highway, it is densely surrounded by forest areas. Basically, the terrains encircle around the corridor of national park, like we are having Navegao, NNTR, Navegao Nagzara National Park, followed by a Koka Wildlife Sanctuary that is towards Bhandara Road, and that are side by side road transit areas are there. So basically, on the highway, we do find there are a large number of animals where they are moving during night time to and fro here and there. So basically, there is a cause that it may get collided with the vehicle and all. So our data comprises two main types of data collection strategies. First, it can be opportunistic or random observation that can be done by tree passers, followed by, or it can be a transit or targeted route observations where we do follow a particular route. Say, as if I mentioned, I do follow route of Nagpur to Sadak Arjuni, and that way we do find there are a large number of villages are like what we are having Sakoli, Badegao, Goregaon, many more. Followed by, our data potentially suggests that road ecology and importance of wild fauna are quite more important, which includes even the minor insects, large mammals, and many rodents or reptiles. Next. Now, what are the significance of this study? So we all know, whenever we are driving a Mercedes or a BMW, if we had the optimum speed of that Mercedes or BMW on national highway would be what? It would be plus 100. So what do you think? Is it a mindful driving or mindless driving? Probably it is a driving which is quite mindlessly without paying attention to the movement of others during the vehicle path. So as per government policies, driving at such speeds are not quite allowed. And even though it may cause distraction to the death tolls, so our data in terms of wildlife vehicle collision data, it is quite well designed to monitor the occurrence of roadkill in order to improve the safety for drivers, not only drivers, but also it avoids the impact to wildlife protection population and contributes outstanding regional biodiversity by enhancing conservation. Thus, our study significantly indicates that it is not only providing a presence only data.
सर आवाज नहीं आ रही है. Hello.
Sir, no sound. Voice is not there.
I'm audible now?
हाँ, yes sir. Please continue.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
So, shall I continue?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Yes, yes, thank you. So, as if I told you, our data but also it identifies the location where WBC occurs, but not location where do not. So in contrast, we think about a target data collection, which involves a set transacts. Okay. Thus, let's go for the observation slides. What I do observe onto the WBCs. Next slide, please. You can observe this one. It's a, what is it? Anybody can answer?
Thumb.
Python. Sir, it is Python.
Before putting my slide, viewers' discretions are quite avoided because almost slides are quite mind disturbing. Basically, it's a rock python having scientific name Python molurus. I found this carcass of animal on National Highway 6 near Jamli Sakoli area. You can find that this is rock python just crossing adjoining highway, but get accidentally killed by the trucks or any kind of vehicle. Even though a small prey had been also killed out, that can be expelled from its abdominal zone. Next slide, please. It's a carcass of Xenoctorpus piscicator, that is a checkered killback snake, brutally killed by a vehicle. Next. Next slide. What is it? It's not a pig.
Randukkar.
Yeah, definitely. It's a randukkar, or we can call it as a jungly sewer, having scientific name Scrofa cristatus, and is again a kill, which is you can find into the adjoining forest area. I can find the carcass. So what I do usually, I stop my vehicle, I get down from my vehicle, I take pictures, and I also report to the forest department that yes, you can come to this place. Please either bury them or have a ceremony of these innocent animals. Because we don't bother, na, we are quite humans, right? Next. What is it?
Kola.
It's a wolf. You can think about kola or a bhedia we can think about. So they comes under scheduled conservation records that have been again innocently killed by the speeding vehicles. Next. It's a fox, Vulpes
Yeah,
bengalensis. So what do you think? Whether these animals are not quite important to us? They are definitely important to us. They are the part of wildlife chain. Ma'am, is it possible to play this video? Next one.
So just a minute, I'll try.
Okay, if it's possible to that. I don't know, link is over there or not. Probably slide है तो शायद नहीं. Doesn't matter. Thank you, ma'am. Next, please.
If it's saving a link there.
I'll share it in the group if it's compatible. So it's the references are there. Just last slide, please. Next one. So one kind request to all volunteers, to all researchers, to all those who are present, those who are not present, they can convey them. Let's please, for conservation and fauna drive, slow down. Let other live happy like we are. And please, whenever you are, even though you have Mercedes, BMW, Audi, or even though simple Maruti Suzuki, drive it slowly when you are walking or driving on highway. And please do care about the wildlife animals. If they are, we are. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Virendra, sir.
Hello.
Question?
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, it's a nice presentation,
Thank you, sir.
but I have one question.
Yes.
Hello.
Is it or can college can make one program for that,
Yeah, of course, sir. Definitely.
for the
Actually,
shelter of
as
the
if I told you,
animals?
it is entirely a
Because
voluntary
forest
involvement.
department-
Basically, every day, whenever we are, even though you are working from your place to your college, you may find such carcasses, but nobody bothers. Nobody want to see them closely. Right?
I want to see them closely. That's why I'm asking personally, because I'm
Okay,
personally
okay.
interested in that.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
Okay. But it's a nice one. It's a good
Hello?
approach for the awareness also.
Definitely, sir.
हेलो सांगोड़े सर.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
सर मुझे एक पूछना है. आपने वाइल्ड लाइफ कंजर्वेशन के लिए बताया है. इवन
Definitely.
अपना जो जाने का अप डाउन का रास्ता है वो भी आपने बताया. बट
Right,
वी
sir.
नीड बिग, अपने को बड़े रास्ते चाहिए. हमारे कन्वीनियंस के हिसाब से हम सोच रहे हैं और
Yes.
हर एक को डेवलपमेंट चाहिए. तो उसको अपन कैसे रोक सकते हैं फिर? क्योंकि
That's the
फॉरेस्ट
open-
तो है वो हटा नहीं सकते. हमको डेवलपमेंट चाहिए वो भी हम रोक नहीं सकते. तो कैसे करें अभी? क्योंकि
Sir,
डेवलपमेंट हर
actually
एक
what
आदमी को चाहिए. हर एक आदमी को रास्ता बड़ा चाहिए क्योंकि उनको अप डाउन का है, आने का ट्रैवलिंग का है, सो एंड सो बहुत प्रॉब्लम्स है. तो कैसे करें फिर?
Sir, see, as a part of remedy, now the government of India had taken various initiatives. Even though I would thank to our road minister, Shri Nitin Gadkari ji, that he had taken care of wildlife. So, as a part of decision, as if I can see practically in Page Tiger Reserve, they had made underpasses, right? So that would be the ideal decision made by government of India or even the central government, that they are caring about these wildlife animals. If underpasses are done, camera traps were installed, so that can be one practical in vivo approach where we can see that how mercilessly these animals cannot be get killed out, and they were living happily in their forest area. So as a part of suggestion, underpass should be there. There should be regular camera traps are there. There should be monitoring. Even though there are so many vehicle signboards are there that it is a wildlife protected areas are there. There should be dry slow like signatures are there. So they should be maintained, sir. That are the remedies I can do suggest.
नहीं सर, देखो ये जो नेता लोग हैं वो आश्वासन देंगे, बड़े पुल बनाने वाले हैं, सो एंड सो फॉरेस्ट से पैच निकालेंगे, रास्ता निकालेंगे, वो तो अपन सुनते आ रहे हैं। बट अभी हमारा प्रेजेंट जो लोकेशन है साकोली है, यहाँ से भंडारा के बीच में लगभग 5 किलोमीटर का रास्ता है जो फॉरेस्ट पैच से जा रहा है। रास्ता छोटा है, हमेशा एक्सीडेंट होते हैं एवरी वीक। तो वी नीड, हमको बड़ा रास्ता चाहिए, हम ऐसे बोलते हैं, वो फॉरेस्ट के बीच से जा रहा है। तो इसके अलावा अपन क्या सोच सकते हैं फिर? क्योंकि डेवलपमेंट तो हमको चाहिए और हम वो भी नहीं रोक सकते, ये भी नहीं रोक सकते, कैसे करें?
अंडरपास बनाएंगे सर, हम लोग फ्लाईओवर से हम लोग जाएंगे और नीचे से एनिमल्स पास होंगे।
सर बस इसके लिए 5-6 साल लगेगा, तब तक तो कई एनिमल चले जाएंगे, कई जो रेप्टाइल से जो है उसकी।
So it would be a part of monitor that we have to kind of हमें forest department को convey करना पड़ेगा कि at least you can just have a kind of manpower should be over there, or there would be one kind of fencing should be there. Fencing हम install कर सकते हैं from the protected areas. Usually ये की जाती है by forest department, but as a protection measure again quite huge fencing should be required. As a recommendation I can say. I cannot say कि ये practically कभी application में आएगा, but हम fences application में ला सकते हैं. Adjoining forest area से.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Virendra sir.
Nice presentation, Vicky.
Thank you, sir.
Next participant, Dr. Sheetal madam.
Yes, Madam President.
Yes, please start.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. मैम आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ मैडम.
Good morning, everyone. Respected Dogarwa sir, respected Preeti madam, and all my colleague participants. Here I am Dr. Sheetal Zamure, Assistant Professor in Guru Nanak College of Science, Ballarpur, Department of Zoology. Today I am going to say something only about electrocardiogram. Next slide, madam. Here we are going to see the definition and interpretation about the ECG. So what is the ECG? So ECG is the electrocardiogram, and that is the graphical representation of the heart's electrical activity. What is the heart? What is the electrical activity? Electrical activity is the during every contraction, and electrical impulses are produced or generated in the AC node, that is sinoauricular node, which is located in the heart, and these impulses are transmitted to the complete area of the heart, like towards the ventricle also, and the different parts like auriculoventricular node, bundle of His, Purkinje fiber, and the muscles of the heart also. So these electrical activities are produced by the AC node and transmitted to the different parts of the heart. And these electrical impulses we can record in the form of a graph, and that graph, it is called as electrocardiogram. And the machine on which we can record this electrocardiogram is called as electrocardiograph. Next, ma'am. So here I have showing some diagram. This is the electrical impulses are produced in the form of a deflections or the wave, that is PQRST. We'll see in a brief later. And these are the diagrams which are showing the impulse conduction or electrical impulse formation. So P wave is produced because of the activation of the atria or the contraction of the atria. Then Q QRS is basically a complex formed by the depolarization of the ventricle, the depolarization wave which is produced in the ventricle, that is the activation of the ventricle. And lastly, the T wave is the recovery period of the ventricle. So here are some graphs showing the ECGs during the different phases of the heartbeat. This is the normal, during normal heartbeat. This is during fast heartbeat. This is during slow heartbeat. And if the heartbeats are irregular, the graph will look like this. Next, ma'am. So there are in the ECG, there are 5 consecutive waves, that is P, Q, R, S, T. So P is basically formed because of the atrial depolarization or the atrial origin. That's why it is atrial complex. So P donated the atrial. P shows the atrial complex, and QRST shows the ventricular complex because it is formed by the ventricular origin. So next, ma'am. So isoelectric periods I can. So in the graph, there are 2 isoelectric points, that is P to Q and S T. These are the two. This one and this one. That is P to Q and S to T. These are the 2 isoelectric points we can see in the ECG. So isoelectric points means we can see there is no deflections. Only straight line is showing there in the graph, means that is the resting phase or the resting state of a myocardial cells. Then let's see one by one. Next, ma'am. Okay, first of all, the P wave. So this is the P, this is Q, this is R, this is S, and this is T. So first wave is the P wave. You can see this is the very prominent rounded top V, all that, and it is the first upward deflection. There are 1, 2, and 3, means these are 3 upward deflection, and you can see there are alternate upward and the downward deflection. So this first one is the first upward deflection, and that is formed because of the depolarization or the contraction of the atria or the atrium. This is upward deflection, small constant and pointed around the top. This is, please, the first one. Ma'am, yes, ma'am. So, yes, this is caused due to the passage of the action current caused over the atria. As the sino-auricular node is stimulated, the electrical impulses are formed and they are spread over the atria, and that spreading of the impulses is shown by the P wave. Its time is 0.1 second. If there is any abnormality in the P wave at a P wave, so that these are the abnormalities. So atrial activity is abnormal. These things shows the abnormality in the atrial activity. So if the P is absent, this is because of the atrial fibrillation. Atrial fibrillation means the fiber formation, or the atria may be beat or vibrate very vigorously, maybe fast, that may be around 400 to 600 beats maybe per minute. Because of that, the P will be absent at that time. And if P will be large and notched, if there is a notch, then it is because of the atrial hypertrophy. Hypertrophy means overnourishment. And if the P is reversed or the reverted, that is because of the nodal rhythm. See, this is the graph formed by the sinus rhythm. Sinus rhythm means the rhythm or the electrical impulses caused because of the activation of the sino-auricular node. So sino-auricular node sending the impulses, and that time the graph will look like this. But if the sino-auricular node is not working properly, that time the auriculoventricular node send the impulses. It acts as a pacemaker, and that is called as nodal rhythm. So in the nodal rhythm, we can see the P is reverted or the inverse. Next, ma'am. Next, ma'am. Okay, if the P is normal, that means because of these factors, the P will be normal. The impulse originating from the sino-auricular node, they are spreading all over the atria in all directions. There is no defect in the conduction. Then the strength of the contraction, the mass, that the muscles of the atria and its nutrition, everything is normal. Next, ma'am. Okay, then the Q wave. This was the P wave, and this is the Q wave. This is caused because of the activity of the septum. Septum means interventricular septum. That, as we know that the human being has four-chambered heart. So the auricle, there are two auricle also divided, and the ventricle is also divided by the interventricular septum. And that's why the ventricle are separated from each other. And when this interventricular septum received the waves, that is electrical impulses sent by the sino-auricular node, because of that activity the Q wave is visible in the ECG. So this is very small, inconspicuous, matlab not much noticeable. This is like very noticeable, like that this is not very much noticeable. So this is found in a ventricular, this is found in those animals where the heart is four chambered. But the animals in which the heart is three chambered, like the reptiles and amphibia, they cannot show this wave, that is Q wave, because the ventricles are not divided. This is also we cannot see in the congenital patency. In the congenital patency means the septum is defective. The ventricles are not separated. You may have heard that ki heart में छेद है ना. So heart में छेद है, that means the ventricle में hole है छोटा सा, that is damage, means there is no separation of the ventricles. That's why there may be a chances of a mixing of a blood. Then the prominent Q also wave indicate old infarction. Old infarction means the patient may have had a heart attack in the past time, or it may stop or arrest or cease the flow of the blood towards the heart muscle because of the old infarction. Next, ma'am. Okay, then the R wave. This is the P, Q, and this is the R. You can see it is the heighted or the tallest heighted amplitude wave. It is very constant and conspicuous, means noticeable. And this is the first positive deflection during the depolarization of ventricle. Means it shows the ventricles are depolarized. Means they ventricles received the electrical impulses sent by the sinoauricular node. Next, ma'am. So this is the S wave, PQR, and this is S wave. This purple color is S wave. It is constant, you can see, and this is the downward deflection, second downward deflection. So the shape, size, amplitude, and the duration of Q, R, and S alters or varies. That means that there is the abnormal condition of the ventricle. Means there is some problem or ventricle is not working properly. At that time, we can see these factors may be altered in the QRS wave. Next, ma'am. So this is the T wave, P, Q, R, S, and this is final T wave. This is upward deflection, last upward deflection. It is broad, smooth. You can see the average duration of this is 0.27 seconds. And why this is caused? This is caused by action current due to the contraction of the basal part of the ventricle. As the ventricles receive the electrical impulses, the basal part of the ventricle contracts and it pours its blood to the aorta, and that is shown by T wave. So this is the repolarization wave of the ventricle. Means the depolarization wave has been passed, and now the ventricles regain its filling capacity. So it is resting, getting again ready to depolarize. So that's why this is repolarization of the ventricle. It is very prominent in young adult. It is very prominent, but in old aged people, it may be flattened. If during exercise, its height may increase. Then during the stimulation of vagus nerve or the sympathetic nerves, or due to other poisons, there may be alteration in the amplitude or the height of the T wave. Then another abnormality may cause in shape, size, and direction duration of the T wave because of the myocardial damage. Myocardial damage means damage takes place in the muscles of the heart. heart, particularly in the ventricle. Then in cardiac hypoxia also. Hypoxia means the low concentration of the oxygen in heart tissue. If the heart tissue is not receiving the proper amount of oxygen at that time because of the cardiac hypoxia, there may be alter in the size, shape and duration of the T wave. Madam, next. Ma'am, next. Ma'am,
Ma'am, U wave slide is there.
बस वेळ होतोय मॅडम
हाँ, टाइम इज अप. आप थोड़ा समाप्त करिए.
हो बस झालं मॅडम. This is U wave. U wave is saying in the next slide. Please next slide, ma'am. This is repolarization of intraventricular conducting system. Madam, next please. See, you can see here the U wave. This is the U wave. This is the repolarization of the intraventricular conducting system. These are the intervals. What is the mean? If the RR is very normal in two consecutive R waves, if the interval are same, then the consecutive wave indicates the simple ECG. But if there is a problem, the ventricle is depolarizing rhythmically. Ma'am, next. PP interval. P means from this P to the next ECG graph P. If the interval between these two successive P's are same, then it shows that there is repolarization of the atria is normal. Okay, ma'am. Next, ma'am. Okay, PR interval means this is P and the R interval up to this is P up to R interval. It is the conduction time of the impulse from sino-auricular node to the ventricle. Sino-auricular node से ventricle के तरफ impulses गए and it depolarizes. The duration is 0.13 to this and it should not go beyond 0.2 second. If goes beyond 0.2 second, that means there is an impaired conduction through the bundle of his. Impaired conduction means it is damaged or the weakened. Then if there is a variable PR intervals, that means that the auriculoventricular dissociation. Dissociation means the separation or the disconnection between the auricle and the ventricle. And ventricle beats in that condition without the influence of sino-auricular node. Then the next one is QRS interval. It is the total ventricular. This is QRS. This is it shows the ventricular depolarization. Its sign is this, and if the time goes beyond 0.1 second, that means that shows the bundle branch heart block. So I'm not going to tell detail about the bundle branch. Madam, next. This is the TP and TP interval. It indicates the alteration of heart rate, measures the diastolic period. Diastolic period, the relaxation period of the ventricle or the heart. The variable interval in successive stage indicates atrioventricular dissociation. Means there is a disconnection or there is a separation between the atrial and the ventricle connection. Ma'am, next. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shital madam.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
फ्रेंड्स, यहाँ पे हम रुकते हैं लंच ब्रेक के लिए. विल कंटिन्यू नेक्स्ट सेमिनार आफ्टर 1:30.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.